Lee Syed don't take his shirt off in the shower.
I don't.
He's like Josh Wolf's hat.
It's fucking crazy. Let me tell you something, man. That shit makes me sweat like a motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Like I refuse to exercise. Like if I eat an edible and I get somewhere and there's stairs,
Yeah.
like I'm fucking pissed. Even if it's 2 little stars, which will not get me high, they will fuck me up when I'm walking up those stairs.
Yeah.
And when I run out of breath, it makes my mind think I'm passing out.
Yeah.
Like I went to radio one time in Boston, the elevator broke.
Ugh.
And that motherfucker made us walk up to the 3rd floor. By the 2nd
No.
floor, I'm like, dog, you better bring the radio station down
No,
here.
no, I'll do a phoner from down here.
Yeah, I'll do a phone
okay?
from down here.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to
You
say
can
like the
go fuck
8th floor,
yourself.
the 10th floor,
No,
the 3rd
dog,
floor.
but these were long. It was an escalator.
And
There
it's
were 3
Boston.
escalators
The
at the-
ceilings are really
That
high.
the fucking electricity went down, so they wanted us to walk
Jesus.
up. They were running the radio show on a generator. I can't do edibles and do anything. Like once
Yeah.
I do edibles,
I don't blame you.
and I walk unexpectedly, my fucking heart stopped. My heart fucking beats too
What
much.
about going downstairs at the old office? I used to have a freak out whenever I was going down.
Those are kind of steep stairs, man. Those freak me out.
Oh my
Lee.
God, yeah. And I'm fine. I get a little nervous sometimes if I'm out and it's like rainy or something. But if I'm sober, I'm fine. That was my biggest panic at that office, was that people were gonna see me walking down the stairs and they know I'd be stoned, because it took me like 5 minutes once, because it would take like a couple tries. It was scary. Like my depth perception's off.
I hear you.
It's a different, but I kind of like now going out when I'm stoned. It's funny because I've always liked watching people and giggling at them, but weed just makes that 1,000 times better. Just watching crazy, like I almost want to go back to a city. I've never been in like a city really stoned, like Boston or New York, and like get to like sit and watch a whole city move by.
Boston's aggravating, and you have to be very careful there, Lee, because those Boston white people are a different type of white people than you've ever dealt with. Case in point, Lee, I had done a show there for New Year's in like 2000. There's ice everywhere, snow everywhere.
That's true, yeah.
It is probably 18 degrees at the most. And I saw these 2 guys walk up to a hot dog place and start beating the living shit out of each other because one of them put ketchup on their hot dog. Okay? And they beat the shit out of each other with blood and okay. And then he goes, I told you not to put ketchup on it, and gets up, and they put their shirts back on and walk off together. They're the craziest white people you've ever seen, dude.
I grew up in the suburbs of Boston. I've always hear stories about this stuff. I never really get to see it.
That's
but yeah, I think the winter would be a little bit tough, especially when it's like the same how hot freaks me out. I think super cold would freak me out too if I was stoned. Like when you can't breathe a little bit, when the cold takes your breath away.
Man, okay, I was just in Fargo, North Dakota. Last month. It was negative 22 degrees. The wind chill, negative 40. It was so cold. I went outside to smoke a joint. Literally, I thought I was going to pass out. It hit me so hard because it was so cold. The weed did. And then...
Well, when you walk into the warmth.
Yeah.
It's like being in high school. You smoke outside, then you walk into the high school,
Yeah.
and the weed levels off a little bit because you're in warm weather. Yeah, it's
Right.
deep.
Man, it was so...
Was that the coldest you've ever been in?
Yeah, that was the coldest I ever been in, dude. I mean, I can't describe it to people. I mean, it's just, I mean, Coco, in my bus, on the inside, the windows were all closed, the bus heater's on, I have a space heater on top of that, I am under 6 inches of blankets, all right, and there's a water on top of my blankets that's about 18 inches away from the window, and it completely froze. And it was inside in a heated place that far away from the window. That is how fucking cold it was. I've never experienced anything. I tell you what, those people up there,
They're tough, man.
they're the fucking
That's tough.
toughest motherfuckers ever. People think they're tough guys. All right, you ain't tough till you do that.
When I was in my 4th year comedy, I moved back to Boulder. And I started getting work as a feature in different cities, not in clubs
Yeah.
and one-nighters. These guys were booking and stuff. And the first weekend after New Year's, I went to Riverton, Wyoming. And it had to be that type of shit. And it snowed. So I remember being at the hotel, waking up like 11. There was no breakfast in hotels in those days. There's no free breakfast.
Stop.
You woke up and you had to look at that front desk dude and go, where do we go? And I asked the dude, I go, where do I go to eat lunch? He goes, I wouldn't take a chance. You driving? I said, no, I'm walking. He goes, you ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, you wouldn't make
He
it.
goes, you ain't gonna make it. And I said, yes, I will. And I went out there, dog, and I walked and walked. It was fucking brutal.
Brutal, dude.
It was fucking brutal.
Especially with the wind. The wind is what, at least for me, is what got
Oh my
me.
God.
It was cold and under your skin. The last time I was in Minneapolis was January 2-3 years ago. And it was one of those days. And I went outside to smoke.
It cut you.
And as soon as I went outside, I could feel the jeans getting cold. Like my skin touching against the jeans. And already they were cold. You could only stay outside and smoke maybe a half a joint. And I'd turn it off and hide it right there at the Mall of America in the bricks.
Genius.
That's exactly what I would do. And I'd go back an hour later and hit it, take it off the brick. I do that everywhere. I find a dumpster and put it on the ledge. And you
It's a
go,
dumpster.
or a fucking trailer. In Jersey, there was a trailer they just built behind the hotel in Edgewater. There was still a construction trailer. They had a flap. I put the joint on there. I'd smoke half it, put it on there, go to my room. Come
It's
back
better
3
than you.
hours later, and
What
the
happened
joint is still there.
when you would smoke cigarettes? I know you don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but I've always wondered that. When you have to smoke a cigarette and it's that cold,
You go outside.
Jesus.
And trust me, with the cigarette, it could be 10 below fucking zero and you go out there.
Yeah. My tour manager, Ben, he was out there in it. It would take him 10 minutes to put on all the extra clothes to go outside and smoke a cigarette.
Now, did you grow up in cold weather?
Arkansas had 4 seasons. We definitely had 4 seasons. It would get cold. I mean, we had holes in our house, so it was, if maybe it felt colder than what it really was.
It's funny because I grew up in cold weather.
You grew up really in cold weather, man.
But the weather has gotten colder with climate change. Is that what they call it? Like global warming and everything? Even this rain we're getting in California, they're getting history making.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, it rained 4 fucking inches in Long Beach.
Is it true that we're not in a drought anymore? Is that true?
I have no fucking
I know you
idea.
don't know, but
No.
Listen, they were never in a drought. They were growing weed. They got water to grow weed. They ain't no fucking drought. You know what I'm saying? Right or wrong? Right? That's why I still took long showers. They got They got water to grow weed. They got water to fucking long.
I take long showers.
For a year, I would only take long showers on the road. I get in the hotel room, and it was like fucking paradise. I was like Mad Max when they found fucking gasoline. I just laid in the fucking tub for an hour, let my fungi nails soften. But now I said, fuck that shit. When I'm home now, I go in the shower, bitch. I steam everything. I steam the muffler. I don't give a fuck. We're going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.